Hi, I'm Paris, and I just got back from a 5,000-mile road trip. Now, once you hit 60 years old, there's some additional considerations before just jumping in the car and taking off like you did when you're 20. So I wanted to list here what I learned through trial and error about road tripping when you're 60. First of all, even if you're going to Seattle, which is where I was headed, don't forget the sunglasses. If at all possible, get the aviator shades so you look just like Biden, because the Gen Zers expect nothing less. And my fellow Catholics probably already have this in their car. You need to make sure you have your St. Christopher medal. St. Christopher, protect us, because you know the one time you forget this on a trip, that's when something's going to happen. And I'm not completely old world. I do use the GPS on my phone for navigation once I get going, but I don't feel comfortable just having this because the battery could go, you could lose the signal, something could get messed up, so you better bring along paper maps in the glove box. And if you have any hope of folding this back up so it'll go back in the glove box, you better bring along someone to sit next to you to do it. Or better yet, an atlas with enlarged maps of every small road in every state you're passing through that you won't passably drive on, but you have it just in case. And for something to listen to through all those hours of driving, a stack of CDs, preferably still in the jewel cases. And unless you're relying on St. Christopher exclusively, don't forget prescription medications, supplements. And how are you going to keep track of what you've already taken, haven't taken yet? I take it in the morning. Do I take it at night? You need your AM, PM pill minder. But wait, I only take a half dose of that one twice a week. Well, better remember, pill splitter. Something to get to sleep, something to help with the pain. Wait, that's a weird cough I've been having. When did that start? I need a COVID test. And there may be devices you need to remember for the ears and the batteries. Drops for the eyes. In my case, glasses for the eyes so I can see anything within a foot of my face. Dentures, partials, plates, Polydent to clean all that. And the ubiquitous to-go bag that you get when you go to your dental cleaning with a manual toothbrush, little tiny tube of toothpaste, and a little bit of floss. Gotta have this. Oh, and yeah, you should probably bring some clothes too. But more clothes than you're probably going to need, both because you don't know what's going to happen with the weather, and after you get 60, especially if you've had some medical procedures or treatments, you're probably one ill-timed sneeze away from wishing you had another change of clothes. Speaking of that, if you want to make any kind of time at all, you can't be finding a place to go pee every time you need to pee. Now, for women, I know it's a whole other issue, but for men, this will become your best friend. Yes, you should pull over before using this bottle, unless you're sufficiently endowed to be able to do this while driving. But it's so much easier to just find a spot that you pull over. Now, of course, you don't need a bottle. You see people, men standing on the side of the road, peeing. But if you want to try and keep it a little bit classy, I found the best thing, like driving a sedan, you just pull over, you open up the back door, like, you know, somebody there needs something and you kind of climb in. And then that's when you use this. And when you get to the hotel, motel at the end of the night, empty it out. This will save you from many episodes of panicked desperation and allow you to make really good time because you don't have to actually exit and go 2 miles and park and go in and then reverse all that. Just pull over by the road and help that person in the back seat of your car. Now, considering the various leaks and spills that can happen, and also you're probably going to be eating a fair amount of the time in your car, you may not want to take your car. If I'd taken my car, I would have been taking an 8-passenger minivan with just me in it all the way up to Seattle and back. I rented a car. Now, just about anything is going to get better mileage than a minivan, and so they gave me a Chevy Malibu, and so it worked out pretty good. It was a fair amount less, and you do use a lot of gas going 5,000 miles. Getting a subcompact would have saved even more in gas, but when you get the really small cars, they're just not that comfortable for those long drives, and there and back was about 80 hours of driving. And that's another thing. You can't do those 14-hour driving days that you used to, especially not day after day. 8 or 9 hours is about the most you can put in one day and still be a good, attentive driver the whole time. And do I really need to say it? Don't drive at night. You can't see between all the little floaty things in the eyes that catch every stray headlight beam and bounce it around. Make sure you're done before it gets dark. And yes, the driving is fun when you're headed towards the destination. You might have planned to stop here, visit this person. I visited one of my oldest friends in the world on my way up to Seattle. I also climbed some state high points on my way up to Seattle. Some of those high points, though, were a little bit more of a workout than the others. But what I didn't do was plan any stops on my way home. I just figured 4 days of driving 8.5 hours a day to knock out that about 2,500 miles. And that was not fun. I enjoy driving. I like cruising on the highway, not a lot of traffic, listening to local radio stations, seeing all the different things. But when you're just trying to grind the miles out, really loses a lot of its appeal. So I would say save at least one thing you're really going to enjoy doing, maybe a half-day activity, and save that for the way back home. And don't forget, before you head back home, to pick up some souvenirs for friends and family. Now, don't get anything they could possibly really want. Instead, get things like what I got at a roadside shop in Arizona on my way back here to Austin. These are sandstone coasters for cold drinks. I thought they're so cool. And everyone I gave them to said, yeah, those are so cool. Other great gift suggestions include graphic t-shirts of places that the other people didn't go to, but you went to. Shot glasses, mugs, keychains, all great gifts that the recipients will lose almost immediately. Most importantly, bring a sense of humor. Stuff's gonna happen, so just roll with it. Also, bring a sense of adventure.
And yeah, the higher power level won't make you go faster, it'll just help you get up the hill. We're cruising! Holy crap, man!
Go out and do something new, something fun, something challenging while you're out there. Those are the things you'll remember years later. And what's the point of going on a road trip if not to make memories? And I'll see you on the next review.
Back sand, look. Oh, nice. Yeah, that could be a sign.
Hey, top of the mesa to ya.
There are so many choices and you don't want to stress. You want your health food at home, receiving only the best. That's what we're here for, we give honest reviews. Paris TX.